Shalom. I want to start by giving all praise to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Baruch Kudash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace salutation to Yakim across the earth for doing his work in sincerity and in truth. Shalom. So I just want to go basically in this article. And of course, how you say that? This time, there's a lot of stuff going on, and Esau's busy trying to fulfill, to achieve his plan that he got. So there's a lot of distractions going on. But it's also funny because it shows you also that how you say that there is basically there's a lot going on. But yeah, I saw this article. Let me just read this article because I saw this article and then it reminded me on the other case, and I gonna see after I read this article if I can find some info about that other case. Let me see. So the title it's on the Telegraaf, which is a big newspaper in Holland. OM dives into liquidation comment Johan Derksen. Johan Derksen is that gray fellow with the mustache, and the other dude is the Baudet, the so-called opposition in the in the parliament, from the government. So the thing is, and this dude, like a while ago, maybe a couple of months ago, I don't remember exactly how long ago, but he made, he used that to show concerning soccer, but he always talking shit about a lot of people. So he talked about how he so-called raped a female, and then they wanted to stop the show and this and that, something. But I think he still is on television. He's still on television, but I don't know what show because I don't really follow him. But he likes to talk shit, and of course, like I said, it's also a distraction. But it shows you. But I'm gonna show you in a while because, like I said, he was talking some shit how he raped a female, this and that, and then they want to stop the show and this and that, investigate, and then they said he changed his story a little bit, and then they said they basically they leave it like that. So this dude is always busy. He always got, especially we had this guy Kwasi Jake. He started a movement. I don't know if he started it, but he was part of a movement against Black Pete, blackface. So he said a couple things, and which was also not smart of him, just because you got to be wise like a serpent, harmless as a dove, like the scripture said. Don't show your teeth to the devil. When he tries to bite you, then you can bite him. But otherwise, don't let him. Don't give him basically any ammo that they can use against you. Because he said if he would see blackface, he would kick him in the face. That's what he said. And of course, don't get me wrong, I understand this feeling, but yeah, you won't achieve by saying or doing that. You won't achieve anything with that. So OM is the public prosecutors. They dives into liquidation comment Johan Derksen. There's something that he said. So he said that this dude, that other dude, that somebody needs to liquidate him. I'm just gonna read the article. The public prosecution's service in The Hague is investing whether Johan Derksen has made a punishable statement with his liquidation remark about Thierry Baudet. According to a spokesperson for the public prosecution service, this is a standard procedure if a threat to a politician is reported. The public prosecution service will then inform Baudet whether, in the opinion of the public prosecution service, it makes sense to file a complaint against Derksen. The public prosecution service cannot say how long the investigation into the report will take. Derksen said on Wednesday inside the broadcast that he thought Baudet should be liquidated. Immediately after his comment, Derksen said it was a slip of the tongue. He meant in his own words that they should kick Baudet out of the chamber. Derksen said in the broadcast on Thursday, a day later, that he was convinced that Baudet doesn't stand a chance if he decides to file a report. The former football player and former editor in chief of VE magazine said he was again very surprised that there was a fuss about his comment. So this dude also used to play soccer. Okay, I don't remember him from playing soccer. So stupid devil. According to LTL Boulevard, today inside President Wilfred Genie was escorted to his car at the Media Park on Thursday due to threats. SBS does not want to comment on this news. Due to security reasons, we cannot answer questions related to security, said a spokesperson. Even the Public Prosecution Service gives a negative advice. The former for democracy leader can still decide to file a complaint. So, and the thing is, because they measure with double standards. Because there was a case, you had this old soccer player from Holland and Jake, Brian Roy, and I'm gonna check if I can find some info on him. So he made a comment about somebody shoot the Prime Minister Kutte, Mark Kutte. So and then they even give him how you call that? Voorwaardelijke. I don't know how you call that, man. Let me see. I don't know how you, Brian. Mm-mm. Yeah, let me see. They even gave him yes, this is the old thing. Let me see. This is last year. Let me see. Let me just read because so he said it on Twitter. He said it. So he said, let me just translate it. So this is what he said, and he's a Jake, you know. Just gonna pause it. For YouTube's gonna be like, you sharing this and that. So he's a old soccer player. So he said Mark Rutte should be executed. So it's basically the same thing that this dude is saying. So he said former professional football player. And you see the funny thing. So they said this Johan Derksen was a so-called football player, soccer player. But this one they said a professional because he was a very good player. I remember when I was young, I was kind of looking up to him. So yeah. Former professional football player Brian Roy has been sentenced by the police judge in The Hague to 80 hours of community service for threatening outgoing Prime Minister Mark Rutte. The former Ajax player was not present in court, according to the court reporter Saskia Belman. So they gave him 80 hours of community service. So I'm very curious what they're gonna do with this dude. Let me see something else. So this is an article afterwards. So he refused to go to his community service. So they saying doing his community service. So they saying they want to throw him 40 days in prison. You see how easy? Hey, the bunch of devils, man. 40 days. Why that number 40? Devils, man. So ex-football player Brian Roy, 52, has been arrested to serve a 40 days. So they even throw him in the prison. To serve a 40-day prison sentence, Roy was handed 80 hours of community service in September and a 1-month suspended prison sentence, but has refused to perform on the community service. This is reported by the Amsterdam newspaper at Parool today. The former left front of Ajax and Orange had posted a tweet which he said that the Prime Minister Kutte should get a headshot. Kutte reported this. He will pay. Roy came to his threat because he believed he was standing up for the children who have been abused, trafficked, and mistreated, he told the police. Yeah, you see that? because that's the shit that they do. Kutte would be guilty of this and should be executed for that reason. He's going to be executed. That's how it goes. I'm not going to do that, but he'll have to pay for it. The ex-football player also believed that the corona pandemic is a conspiracy to shrink the world's population. So you see, the things that he is saying is very he's against the system, because we know we're heading towards the MOTB. So he's speaking against it. And don't forget, he's a Jacob descendant. So he's I don't know if he knows that he's a Hebrew Israelite, but he's already basically enemy of the state. Just by nationality, we are already an enemy of the state. Because don't forget, the so-called white man is still in rulership. His kingdom is going down. It's going down real fast, but he's still in rulership. So yeah. During the trial, Roy was conspicuous by his absence. No lawyer was present on his behalf. After the verdict, he already announced on Twitter that he does not intend to comply. Mark can do the whole community service in her own way. For every 2 hours of community service and not performed, 1 day in prison. That's why Roy has to sit for 40 days. According to the newspaper, the CJIB, which is carrying out the sentence, did not want to say when Roy was arrested. The newspaper writes that it has been quiet on the Twitter account of the footballer since April 19. Early we made this video about the case. I'm not gonna play the video, but there you see him. He's a Jake. And let me see if I can just get his picture. Then you can see him. So this is him. So basically, I saw the article. I was like, yeah. Then I remember about him. So I didn't even, notice that they also threw him in jail for 40 days. But this is the case. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 73, verse 5. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. So yeah, and that's it. They are not in trouble. This is their kingdom. So yeah, and we gotta realize, our people gotta realize, that we are still the bottom. We still the tail. Like it's described in the book of Deuteronomy. Let me see, because that's part of the curses. Let me see. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 44. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. So, and he's still in rulership, so we still under the curses, Nevertheless, we see the curses happening onto them, because with this energy crisis, Edomites are suffering, man. See a lot of them suffering. Cutting off the gas in the house and this and that, Now they organize all kinds of stuff where they help each other with stuff, So yeah, people are suffering big time. So let me see. I was thinking about the other scripture. Oh yeah, I'll remember. Yes, I remember. Let me see. It's the book of Baruch. This is the book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments, according to all iniquities of our fathers, which departed from Yahweh our power. So, we are still under the so-called white man, the Edomites. We still under him. This is still their kingdom. So yeah, this is the case. So this is it. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it like that. So with that, I'm gonna give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Baruch HaKodash, a double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace salutations to Akim across the earth for doing his work in sincerity and the truth. So with that, I'm gonna say Shalom.